So Crystal Dynamics recently announced that they're working on a brand new Tomb Raider title to be developed by them and to be built using Unreal Engine 5. This is great news. The previous Tomb Raider trilogy was brilliant. It reinvigorated the series. Now, of course, with Crystal Dynamics kind of tarnishing their reputation a little bit with Avengers, I guess there is a slight concern, but to be honest, the fact that Avengers was such a shit show doesn't really worry me too much. I imagine a lot of the staff members will be pretty fucking happy to be moved off of working on future content for that game and to be working on something fresh and more familiar. And when I say familiar, I'm talking about the fact that Crystal Dynamics are not really known for making live service games as a service, which is what Marvel's Avengers was. So, you know, they were kind of swimming in unknown water, so we should see a return to the kind of quality that we expect from Crystal Dynamics. So the assumption that I guess we'll all be making is that this is going to be a continuation of Lara's tale after the Origin trilogy, set in that same universe, but there's every chance that this could be an entirely new Tomb Raider rebooted in a completely new universe. I don't think this will be the case, but it's just kind of an interesting thing to bear in mind. Anyway, I'm going to continue on the assumption that this is going to be the next saga in the same universe as the Origin trilogy. So here is a quick 5 things that I'd like to see in the new Tomb Raider. More custom difficulty settings. So one of the really amazing things about the latest trilogy was how incredibly accessible the games were. Any gamer of any level could pick up these games and enjoy them. The thing is though, one of the really amazing things about the original Tomb Raider trilogy on the PlayStation 1 was how punishingly difficult those games were. Granted, a lot of that was down to janky controls and camera angles, but I'd like to see more options for the player to make this next game a harder experience. And I'm not talking about just a harder difficulty level. I'm talking about customizable options, like being able to turn off hints or increasing enemy capabilities like better aim or larger field of view. We saw the start of this in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but it needs stepping up in the next installment so that people who want the accessible, easygoing experience can have it, and those who want a more demanding experience can too. Varied environments. One of the things that surprised me about the last trilogy was that each one of the games was set in just one place. They've heavily lent into the style of the Uncharted games in just about every area, except the fact that Uncharted games tend to be stories that take place over multiple chapters that sprawl across intentionally different environments. I remember playing Rise of the Tomb Raider, and whilst I loved it, I was certain that at some point we were going to leave this sort of snowy environment and continue the story in another place, but it never happened. And then, to my surprise, Shadow did the same thing. For a AAA adventure game coming out in 2024, 2025, whenever we're going to see this game, the expectation is that a game of that level should have varied environments. Croft Manor. Nobody can tell me that Croft Manor wasn't one of the best bits of the original Tomb Raider games. Nobody can also tell me that this melted fucking attempt at a Croft Manor on Rise of the Tomb Raider as a paid DLC was any good at all. It was literal garbage. Like, the place was wrecked, it was shite. I want something fitting for an adventurer like Lara, with secrets and puzzles and training facilities and mazes, and of course a walk-in freezer and a butler. More tomb raiding. The game is called Tomb Raider. It's not that you don't raid tombs on the last trilogy, but they kind of feel secondary to the mission, in the sense that they quite literally are side missions. They're all kind of the same thing. They're small and they contain some decent puzzles, but when I think about a tomb, I'm thinking about some serious exploration, some serious adventuring. Again, I enjoy them, but I'd love to see some really sizable tombs that you can't finish in half an hour. I feel extremely spoilt now by the exploration and just downright innovation of some of the places that you can visit in Elden Ring, like the fucking underground Eternal City. These huge, marvellous, mysterious areas that are not part of the main story. That's the kind of thing that I want to see Lara getting into in this new one. Finally, Lara more developed. Disgraces. So Lara in the most recent trilogy was awesome. It was great to watch her kind of grow into the adventurer she's destined to become. She learns a lot of lessons throughout the trilogy, and her self-assuredness is a process that builds across the 3 titles. Now, of course, the original Lara is a badass dual pistol wielding, tank top wearing, motorcycle riding, backflipping nutcase. Now, with the modern marvel that is video game creation, we're unlikely to see Lara ever return to that caricatured person, simply because we're able to delve delve deeper into a person now and give characters stories and arcs that match blockbuster movies. I'd like to see the new title start in a new era after at least a significant passing of time, where we see a more assured, more mature Lara closer to the Lara from the originals. It'd be great to see some aesthetic changes too, like for example it'd be great to see Lara be able to dual wield pistols in the new game, being that that was kind of an iconic part of her character in the originals. Or, you know, it'd be cool to maybe see them build in the kind of flip jump. I don't know. I'm not the fucking professional here, am I? But what I'm saying is that Crystal Dynamics have a really good opportunity here to really change and develop Lara's character in a new way, and I hope that's the route that they go down. Anyway, that's your lot. Like and subscribe.